Hey everybody, it's Eric here with Spartan Auto Works. Today we're going to talk about properly diagnosing a driver door electrical issue. Many people misdiagnose this and think that they have a bad body control module. So quick story time here. In the last couple days we had two different customers call about driver door issues where they diagnosed as a body control module. Uh, Obviously told them to go back, check the wiring. Haven't heard back from them yet, but probably won't because it's probably going to be a wiring issue. But a week ago, we had a local shop here in St. Louis that's very, very good at diagnostics. Called me and said, hey, we've got a bad door switch. We need a door switch for, I think it was an '08 Suburban. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I have one. What's it doing? And he told me, I was like, well, you need to check for power and ground. He's like, I already checked for power and ground. I've got it. I was like, you probably still got a broken wire in the door. I would check for a broken wire in the door. He's like, I got power and ground. It's a switch. I'm like, okay, well, I've got one on my old truck. I can send it over to you. He came and got it, went and put it in, calls me back and said, hey, the switch does the exact same thing. It didn't fix it. I was like, well, that came out of my own truck because it was kind of scratched up, and I put a new switch in my truck. And I was like, so I know that switch is good, so it's not the switch. He's like, well, the only other thing it can be then is the body control module. I'm like, I doubt it's the body control module. If everything else is working, you don't have another failure, and all you have is the driver door not working, then it's not the body control module. He's like, nah, it's got to be. Send me over a BCM. So he comes over, gets a BCM, calls me an hour later, says, hey, I put the BCM in, and it's still doing the same thing. I said, it's got to be a broken wire in the door. He's like, no, but I've got power and ground. He's like, I've checked it multiple times. I've got power and ground. I was like, give me an hour, I'll be over. So I went over, and we pulled apart the door. I pulled out the wiring harness, and he's like, you're wasting your time. It's got to be something else. Pull out the little slinky right there that goes between the door, and the first thing that popped out was a black ground wire. This is a very, very common issue, especially in the 07 up in the driver's door. You don't see it in many of the other doors, but in the 07 up new body style 900 trucks, you'll definitely find that it usually breaks the black ground wire in the driver's door. On the previous generation of GMT-800 trucks, you're going to find that it's can be both driver door and passenger door. The should be a small orange wire on the passenger door that usually breaks, but you're going to find both broken wires on both sides of the GMT-800 trucks. But the 900 trucks, usually it's just the ground wire and this particular slinky right there between the body and the door. So take the best way to do it is just take the whole thing out. You're gonna find like 3 wires in there. I believe it's a small orange wire, a big orange wire, and the ground wire that kind of becomes stressed. So if you want to extend those, which is what we did on this other truck, we actually extended those wires because you can see that they kind of get pulled to a pinch point. So we extended the wires, put about 3 inches extra play in there, and then you kind of got to finagle the wires to get them to sit correctly once you add the extra length. But highly recommended. But if you have an issue with a driver switch, there's only one other thing that really comes into play. Is on this side of the switch, because you have multiple connectors. On this side of the switch, you're going to find that a lot of switches melt. So the original owner of this truck, which is going back some years, they had that particular issue. I guess it happened in warranty, and it actually melted the switch. So the switch was replaced and the pigtail was replaced. And the dealer that did the pigtail replacement literally did a terrible job. And after I bought the truck, I cleaned it all up, but it melted the switch itself, and it melted the plug, and that's a real common issue too. So the first thing you want to check is you can actually pull this open or pull this up on this style of switch, and then you want to check to make sure that the switch isn't melted or the plug's not melted. If it is, obviously you need to start there. But if you're having an issue, don't conclude it's the body control module until you pull the harness out and double check the harness, because right in that slinky right between the door, usually you're going to find that the plug or the black wire is usually broken. So 900 trucks, so 07 up, black wire in the driver's door. If you've got an 800 truck or GMT-800 truck, which is a previous generation, 99 through 07 classic, you need to check both the driver's door and passenger door for broken wires. Best way to pull the little harness out, you have to cut some rubber back off the slinky, so you can kind of really inspect the wires. But 99% of the time, it's broken wire, not a BCM. When you get a BCM failure, you usually have multiple faults, not just one fault. But when it comes to the driver's door, this is probably the most misdiagnosed. No sense buying something that's not going to fix your problem. So start there, and that's usually your fix. If you have any questions, comment below. Do my best to answer.